The barn final at the BHI Wellend Jumpstart Jammer in the adult division, our second time looking at the ringers here this afternoon. First look at the London Outlaws as they come in from their semifinal match. Ringers took on the London Direwolves, played them to a 4-0 game after getting outplayed for most of the first and portions of the second half. Ball dumped the length of the floor. It's brought out on the far side by the London Outlaws. Outlaws wearing the red jerseys, black numbers, occupying the home bench. Purple and yellow, LA Lakers colors. Occupying the visitors' bench is the Ringers, their goaltender, Matt Kane. Face-off they're going to bring to the left of Matt Kane. And it's won back by Brad Campbell. All the way outside by Larry Horman. Gets worked down into the corner. Alex Kalenko is there. Kalenko for Jonah Evans. Evans took up space right in front of the crease all game in that semifinal. Look for him to work there again today. Over, open side, and Larry Horman didn't miss by much. Pardon me, Corey Ferruggia, 87 with the blue shorts. This is Larry Horman. Will the real Larry Horman please stand up? Andrew Wager, far side, takes the shot. That one goes off the fencing and down. Jonah Evans and Wager collide on it. Ferruggia tried to center that. It's off the stick of Jack Martin. He had a great defensive game in that semifinal for the Ringers. A number of block shots on penalty kills. So Ringers bring it down. Slapped in by Brendan Kane. That goes off the stick of the defender. Icing waved off. It works into the corner. Outlaws trying to bring it out. Stepping into the shot is Kane. His first save made there by Scotty McGowan. Out. Over the line, Oliver Wild. Played in for the Ringers. Alex Kalenko. Down into the corner, Jonah Evans. Evans kept there by Larry Horman. Ball stalled down in the corner and play whistle dead, and they'll have the face-off here to the right of Scotty McGowan. One back into the corner for Larry Horman. Horman up top for Brendan Crosby. Crosby rips away, outside shot. Kane drops down to make the save. Rebound into the corner. Crosby coming in for it. Evans trying to stick handle his way away from Horman. Tried the back check, but Horman remained on the ball. Horman still with it now. Gets bumped and falls. Looks up for the ref. No call. As here's Crosby stopping it at the blue line. Gets it up through center. Steve Cormier. Cormier pushing it ahead up for Garrett Druin. Druin tries another shot. That one skims the outside of the post before ending up in behind the net. Up the wall, Curtis Gibbons. Gibbons played down by Brad Campbell. Campbell, just from outside the blue line, rips a shot that goes up into the screening on the far court. They're going to rule that went off a ringer stick, so the face-off will come inside the zone. And it'll be to the right of Matt Kane. Face-off to the right of Kane. Scott Russo in on the face-off. Chipped ahead by Tom Strite. Strite giving chase, but Jeff Dupuis is there. Andrew Wager, far side. Trying to cut back in. There's a shot. Looked like it was a toe save, but in the back of the net, Andrew Wager. Passed out by Corey Ferrugia. Brad Campbell, Scott Russo having words after that last face-off. Brad Campbell first into the corner. Looks around the goal scorer, Andrew Wager. Inside 6 minutes to play in the opening period. Comes up outside. Oliver Wild dumps it back into the corner. Larry Horman comes back for Russo. He blocked the shot by Russo. Here comes Wager. Wager on the half boards. Wager tries to center, but Strite is there. Strite takes it away. Campbell rips it from the blue line. Ferrugia. Stick-handles around. Russo and Horman takes the shot and it's just wide. The net comes off the moorings. And as Campbell touches up, they'll hold play to reset the cage. And that stops the clock at 5:14. Face off in front of us. One here by the Ringers. Kalenko tried to chip it up, but getting stick on it. There was Garrett Druin. Druin lets Kalenko take it into the corner. And Kalenko's going to chip it up the near side. Over for Jonah Evans. McGowan went down. And they say that came out. Jack Martin trying to keep it on the right side of the blue line. Looked like it did go out, but didn't touch it. Allowed the Outlaws to bring it back out. Ringers regain possession. Can't get a shot away, though. Garrett Druin. Over it goes for Steve Cormier. Cormier and Martin in along the boards. Martin continues to push it up with one hand. It goes down into the corner for Larry Horman. Martin rifling a shot. Curtis Gibbons. McGowan's down. Not sure where it is. Jack Martin on the doorstep. And now McGowan's back up. Working out into the slot. Brendan Kane. His shot blocked. Comes over to the near side. Hustling down the near side. Oliver Wild. Wild takes a slight bump down into the corner. Here's Evans. Backs it for Brendan Kane. Kane looking far side. Jesse Green off his stick and up into his own bench. That'll halt play with 3:55 to go. And a face-off coming to the left of Matt Kane. Jonah Evans. Dylan Gampicourt, Curtis Gibbons, and Matt Miller, the goal scorers in that semifinal game, a 4-0 shutout for Matt Kane in the semifinal for the Ringers here against the Outlaws. Pass through, Horman looks up at Ferrugia. Wager turns back for Brad Campbell. He takes a shot, and that's off the leg of Evans into the corner. And they chase it back to the near side. Evans goes up over top of Campbell. Stopped in front there by Brendan Kane. Airmailed down the floor. Larry Horman gets underneath of it. Tries to backhand it. Goes into the midsection of Jonah Evans, and it's high again. Glove down by Corey Ferrugia. Stolen off his stick, though, by Brendan Kane. Stepping into a shot and in. Curtis Gibbons. Not sure if that may have hit off Jeff Dupuis, the high defender, or not. But Curtis Gibbons on the goal Bit of miscommunication trying to get it out. Larry Harmon wasn't ready for it. And that allowed it to get on the stick of the Ringers and back to the point for a huge shot. And we're tied 1-1 inside 3 minutes to go. Working down in the corner, the Ringers. Sit on the stick, Scott Russo. Russo up over center. Chipped ahead, out past Matt Miller. Jesse Green goes back to play for it. Another shot and a goal. Again by the Ringers, and again an outside shot. Like Jacob Woods that time, catching Scotty McGowan. Oh, the Ringers probably talked about that first period in the game against the Direwolves. They were vastly outplayed for the first 15, first half of that game. Had to come from behind for the victory. Worked into the corner again. This time it's Wager. Andrew Wager back for Campbell, and a glove save made by Kane. No traffic really in front. Corey Ferrugia was closing in from the far side. But Kane is able to hang on, and the face-off will come to his left with under 2 minutes to go in the opening period now. One more game following this one. The Vicious Alpacas will face the Punishers in our intermediate final. This one is in the Barn Division. Away from Corey Ferrugia. So Kalenko back to play for it. Alex Kalenko came down the near side. He gets it back after Jeff Dupuis was trying to get a shot on net. Ferrugia lifts it down. Jeff Dupuis nearly puts it in his own net with McGowan way up. Brad Campbell near side chips it off the boards. Jack Martin there as well. Gets around all of them. In for Kalenko, who just clears it. Oliver Wild far side. Kalenko in the corner. First one there's Wild again. Wild's going to circle the net here. Kalenko spying him. Giving chase. Brad Campbell sneaks down. He had short side open. Couldn't find it. Scott Russo works up far side. Gets around Horman. Backhand shot and scores. What a beautiful play there. Back for Tom Strite. All the work done on the far side by Scott Russo. Ringers jumping out early here. 3-goal lead. 3 goals, pardon me, for a 2-goal lead. As we're now in the final minute, 45 seconds to play. Larry Horman back to get it off the face-off win. Dropping down, Brendan Crosby. Had his stick lifted at the last second. Jack Martin will help this ball get all the way in. Larry Horman chases it into the corner. Curtis Gibbons urging his team to spread out. Jack Martin. He collides with Steve Cormier. It ends up working out on this side. Garrett Druin chases the ball in. Kalenka takes it away from Kane, and Kalenka, with 5 seconds left to go, should just hang on here. Bit of a late shove. Jack Martin gives a bump in the corner as well, and doesn't look like anything else will come of that except for a few more words. Pretty good offensive period for both sides, and better one for the Ringers, though. They lead 3-1 after one. A great first period for the Ringers on both sides of the floor. Jacob Woods, Curtis Gibbons, and Tom Strite, the goal scorers. 2 outside shots. And a nice, pretty play down low. Tom Strite from Scott Russo. As Russo ran the far side, they're bearing down again. This time Curtis Gibbons looking for his second, had Scott McGowan down. And the active poke check starts the counterattack. Kane jumps on that quickly as Garrett Druin's on the doorstep. Andrew Wager got things started off in this game for the London Outlaws, but 3 unanswered. Back the other way, made it 3-1. After the first period in the barn final. The Jumpstart Jammer here at BHI Wellend facility on the JVI Sports Network. Coming off the half boards, Wager looking for his second, lifts it up over the head of Jeff Dupuis. Gets on net, so McGowan has to play for it. Wager spun around at center. They work it to the far side, point shot coming, and it's shot up and caught in the back fence. Lucky break for the Ringers there, as it looked like Brad Campbell on the doorstep waiting for that one to land. And they'll switch up the balls, a couple on ice. Keeping them there, and do soften up in the heat. We've seen the floor soften up a little bit here. A couple bubbles throughout the day. Quickly fixed by the BHI crew. Jonah Evans out in front of the net, couldn't get it to settle down so he could spin and fire. That's what ends up on the stick of Corey Ferrugia. Ferrugia takes the shot. May have tipped off the stick of Jacob Woods a little bit before going high. Matt Kane sees it all the way, though. Makes the glove save. Face-off will come to his right side. Late change here from the Ringers. They're the visiting team allowed to make it. However, Brad Campbell steps in for the face-off, gives instruction to his line mates, and it comes straight back for Ferrugia, who takes the shot wide. Played back by Oliver Wild onto the stick of Andrew Wager. Wager's got Kalenko on him. Ferrugia cut to the net, couldn't find it. And here comes Ferrugia. Brad Campbell's stick explodes in his hand. That's why that shot didn't go through. And there's pieces of it all over. Out in front, that shot hits off the cage, goes up into the parking lot. As they try and get all the fragments of that stick back to the Outlaw bench. Brad Campbell has a new twig. He's back on the floor. As Wager and Russo to the face-off dot. Larry Horman clears it near side for Ferrugia. Ferrugia bearing down on Kalenko. It's Kalenko in the corner. Rings it around the base of the boards. Over for Campbell. Campbell with Wager in front. Out of his reach, Russo has a look. It's a 3-on-2. High on Scotty McGregor. He's got to come down with it. And that stops the clock just inside of 8 minutes. Still 3-1 score in favor of the Ringers. Outlaws did open the scoring, as McGregor gloves the face off out of midair. 7:53 now. Again, go to ballhockeyinternational.ca. Check events and tournaments. And the JVI Sports Network will be on hand to cover all of those. Next one coming up the weekend of August the 8th. We'll be on hand for the final games of that tournament. Jack Martin gives his man a bump in the corner, and he's going to sit as both arms went high. Two for body contact, I believe. Face-off will come to the right of Kane. A good chance for the Outlaws now to get back in this one. This one goes sky high. No one sure where it was. Brad Campbell could have run underneath, but first man there, Matt Miller, gets into the corner. Scott Russo, the trailer, takes a shot, and it's high for McGregor, and gloved out of the way by Campbell, though. Here comes Miller, him and Garrett Druin. They battle in the corner. Druin the first one there, as is Ferrugia. Matt Miller had a look at the official after he took a bit of stick contact. It goes back for Kane. Kane behind his own net. Wager plays on Kalenka. Backhanded up by Mike Miller, and the Ringers change up penalty killers here. 6:45 to play in the period. Brendan Crosby out in front for Druin. Far side Wager. This is where he scored his opener. Goes down low for Crosby. Backhander trying to go forehand. Rolls just away from him. Ferrugia has to chase it to the boards. Ferrugia. Far side. Campbell takes the shot. And the stick save made by Kane pushes it into the corner. Wager first one there. Wager through a maze. Looking one-timer for Ferrugia. He couldn't settle it down in time to take the shot. Here's Ferrugia. Ferrugia off the shin guard of Russo. Grimaces behind that face mask. Ferrugia again. Russo steps up again. Over for Campbell. He has to wait for it. Takes the shot. And where is it? It's in the glove of Matt Kane. Jack Martin was the best penalty killer for the Ringers in that semifinal game. He's the man that takes the penalty here. Inside of 6 minutes to play. Gloved out of midair. Maybe saving a goal was Jacob Woods as Ferrugia on the doorstep if he could get his stick down. Outlaws have to touch up. It was almost a 2-on-1 short-handed rush for the Ringers. But it just wouldn't sit for Curtis Gibbons. He's already got one in this game. Jack Martin out of the penalty box. Ball arrives just in time. And Oliver Wild has to play on him. Rolls away from Martin. Brendan Crosby in the corner. Here's Wager. Close the penalty box door. Ferrugia. Wager. Bit of a tip. Gibbons will get another attempt here. Ends up leaving. And it's stalled on the top of the net. Looked like he was going to come back out. McGregor McCowan had to run after that. Off the boards and chasing Steve Cormier. Cormier collides with Jacob Woods. Get it up for Gibbons. Gibbons in front of us. It goes down. Jonah Evans. He's in and forehand, backhand. Beats Crosby to the net. And McGowan slams the goalie stick. All the work was done by Curtis Gibbons. A couple great shifts in succession for Curtis Gibbons, and he comes away with a beautiful assist. Face off, won by the Outlaws, back to the blue line. One goes sky high. Matt Kane comes out right to the hash marks, makes the save. Another face off here. Played right into our booth, as I believe stick playing, got it up. Second one back to Jack Martin. Crosby involved with it, him and Gibbons. Bump a little bit, smiles from both men. Pinching down was Oliver Wild. Ends up back for Gibbons again. Gibbons and Russo. They've been the guys setting things up so far today. Can't make anything happen this time. Crosby from the blue line takes a shot. Kane drops low. Open side. He drops to his right-hand side with Ferrugia wide open. What a save that was by Kane. Here's Russo letting one fly. Misses to the right. Tom Streit with it. Fresh off the box. Right in time, Matt Miller steps out as the ball arrives. He lifts that one up over the cage, out of play. And that'll stop the clock with 3:52 on it. (4-1) score. Ringers continue to extend their lead. 4 different goal scorers. It's what happened in the first game. It's happened here again in this final. On the floor for Ferrugia. Up and outside Kalenko. He takes a shot and it may have hit the inside of the leg of Ferrugia. Larry Horman settles it for Brad Campbell. His shot. Wind has picked up a little bit. It's running basically from the bottom of your screen across the top. Almost straight across the floor, maybe a slight right to left direction when it shows up. Much as it did last week, and what we saw last week was it really carried that ball when it was shot from the right side, but if it was shot from the left side, it put a real left turn on that ball. See if anyone could take advantage of that, either here in this game or when we get to our intermediate final. Along the half boards, here come the Outlaws. Russo stuck his foot out to play on the ball. Ends up with possession as a result, but Wegger steals it away, tries to get around. Kane comes out with the active stick. And it works to the far half boards. Steve Cormier there for the Outlaws. Spins and fired, stolen away Jacob Woods. Woods look to go up through the center. The Outlaws have to touch up. Played over here. Brad Campbell rips one in. Campbell and Russo continue their conversation that started at the face-off dot in the first. Oliver Wild. Far side, Cormier. Here they come near side. Battling around, Jacob Woods has that roll away from him. Wild brings it up through the center. He's got Chris Whitaker on his left. Can't find him though. Whitaker's going to take up residence in front of the net. Stolen by White. Tom Straight lifts that down into the corner. Brad Campbell is there. Campbell, base of the boards for Larry Horman. Horman, far side, Jeff Dupuis. Dupuis lets it rip, and that didn't miss by much. I believe a toe save there by Kane. Campbell off the boards. Outlaws had to hold up. Steve Cormier was offside. So streaking straight down the center, shooting just wide. Nice rush there by Brendan Kane. Near boards, they come for Cormier again. Cormier can't get it around Russo. Cormier gets it back, spinning and firing. Jonah Evans. Approaching the final minute of the second period now. Still 4-1 in favor of the Ringers. Back for Brad Campbell. Campbell looks to go around Jacob Woods. Can't, and Dupuis can't keep it in. So Evans will chase him. We are now in the final minute as Larry Horman takes it on the half boards. Up for Brad Campbell. He's looking for help. Having to hold up at the line there was Garrett Druin. Druin will chase it down now as Crosby can't regain possession. Over for Evans. Jonah Evans. Sliding to his right was McGowan. Evans couldn't keep it. Brad Campbell steals that away right at mid-floor. Shot easily. Stick handled away into the corner. Brad Campbell gets there first. Brendan Crosby out of his reach. Larry Horman uses the free arm. They've got to hold up. Back for Crosby, the shot there. Seen at the last minute. Dropping down was Kane. Final 10 seconds. Looks like the Ringers are just going to allow it to hang on. They came in with a 3-1 lead. But another goal by Tom Strite pushes it up to 4-1 after 2 periods of play. We'll hand out the hardware after 10 more minutes. Final 10 minutes in the barn. Gold medal final, the Ringers. 4 different goal scorers. In the semifinal, it was Jonah Evans, Dylan Gambacourt, Curtis Gibbons, and Matt Miller. Here today, Jonah Evans, Jacob Woods, Curtis Gibbons, and Tom Strite. So we've seen 8 goals today for the Ringers between the semifinal and the final game. And we've seen 6 different goal scorers out of 10 runners on that bench. Just the 1 goal on the day, the opener in this game from Andrew Wager in the first minute and a half of the first period. Matt Kane has been solid in this tournament, at least in the afternoon. Scotty McGregor, gloves on, Jonah Evans, pardon me, runs in to force the whistle. The face-off will come to his right-hand side, despite the forwards asking him to keep play alive. Brendan Crosby. Looks like he's going to take the face-off, as will Tom Strite, captain for the Ringers. Wins it back, gets away from Russo. I believe that's the intended target. And it gets out of the zone as Jack Martin was there. Now it's going to be stolen away by Corey Ferrugia. Ferrugia over for Wager. Martin's down and looks like he's hurt, holding the hamstring as Kane went down to hang on, and now Jack Martin going to try and walk it out. Not sure if it's a cramp or a pull. You reach back for the hamstring area. And Jack Martin does slowly get to the bench. Larry Horman up top in front for Ferrugia. That one hits off the foot of Russo, and you can see him grimace in behind that face mask the second time. That's happened today. So Jack Martin already down, and Scott Russo doesn't want to move very much. He's been the fast break man for the Ringers here on the afternoon. Brad Campbell, far side, trying to lift it in. It's stolen by Tom Strite. And good job that Oliver Wild got stick on that, or Strite was off to the races. Wild. He's in the corner. Tries to lift it up over top of Kane. Kane goes to his right, puts the paddle down. And the outside shot from Horman off the blocker into the cage. And here's Strite. Strite with Wager on him. Wager up for Campbell. Scotty Russo having a bit of fun for the camera as the play comes right in front of us. 7:47 to go in the third period. Crouch in for the face-off. Won it so cleanly it went right back for Jeff DePee. His quick shot goes the length of the floor. Matt Kane had to shuffle right, and that one's going to hit the upright stanchion. And they'll call that icing as it came down. Still just the 4-1 score. Cloud cover starting to roll in, blocking the sun a little bit. Wind, nice little breeze. No gusts like we had last week, but with the sun at least in hiding. It's cooled off ever so slightly. Looks like there's a problem with the floor over there in the corner. Scott Russo and referee Chad Asseltine go to work that out. Looks like the kink is settled down. This gives everyone a chance to go grab some water. Grab a quick breather. And a chance for us to remind you, coming up following this game, our final game of our coverage here on the JVI Sports Network, the intermediate final, the Vicious Alpacas come into the game thanks to a 4-1 victory over the Throwbacks. They'll face the Punishers in our intermediate final. That one coming up later in this game, but we are in the barn division right now. Face-off coming to the right of Matt Kane. Immediately to the half boards. Jesse Green in there. Green goes right to that spot where they were working. Brad Campbell back for Jeff DePee. His shot went off the blocker of Matt Kane, off the pipe. He wasn't sure where it was. Had a quick look. Steve Cormier couldn't find the handle. As here's DePee up top. He tries again. That one off the foot of Russo. That's the third time in this game Russo's blocked a shot off the foot. Here comes Russo. Strike gave chase. Dupuis took it off the cage, and McGowan spun it through. Here's Brad Campbell working in. He looked for the top corner. It was off the shoulder of Kane, who had dropped down Butterfly. In the corner, having a look, Curtis Gibbons. Gibbons is going to play it off the boards. Russo giving chase. Icing waved off. Russo, Jeff Dupuis there as well. Larry Horman out in front. Jonah Evans was there. McGowan was screaming for someone to go cover Evans. Doesn't result in anything. Over the blue line, here's Russo. Takes a shot just wide and off the backboards. Now Russo's going to head off. Trying to complete a change here for the Ringers. Far side. Can't sit for Campbell. Jonah Evans, it works out over the blue line here. Looking for Garrett Druin. Up for Gibbons again. Gibbons looking to spring Evans. Now Gibbons is going to go straight through the middle. Here comes the shot. Poke check up into the logo there on McGowan. Nice save and a nice play. Gibbons and Evans working. Jonah Evans, the recipient of some good passes so far and some good footwork. Curtis Gibbons had a great setup earlier on the Jonah Evans goal, and Scott Russo has been the setup guy. Jump ball, Jonah Evans uses his size to get up there, bats it back down. Curtis Gibbons first into the corner. Evans is going to chase it as it returns back in behind the net. Gibbons spins and fires, doesn't miss the low far corner by much, as Corey Ferrugia is going to settle it down. Oliver Wild has to give chase. Back up top for Curtis Gibbons, off the glove. Goes high into the cage. Jeff Dupuis is there. Dupuis for Wild again. Up over center, Jack Martin. He's going to go through the legs for Dupuis. Here's Crosby. Ferrugia. Ferrugia. Martin goes low, and they can't get it up over the stick. As you can see, Martin still moving slowly after he went off with what looked like a hamstring injury. Quick shift for Martin again. Here's Jonah Evans. McGowan's down, and Gibbons can't find any part of the open cage there. Ferrugia. Down the far side, Jesse Green. He hangs up. Here's Ferrugia again. Through the middle, Oliver Wild. Middle, Jonah Evans. Weiger waits for his teammates to get onside. Weiger from the half boards dumps it to the empty spot. Ferrugia turns and fires, and that's into the midsection of Kane. And he hangs on. 4.5 minutes to play in this barn final matchup. Face-off controlled here by the Ringers. Off the boards, giving chase, Matt Miller. Stolen by Wild. Goes up for Weiger. Weiger touched it right at the blue line. Russo keeps it alive. Strike. Chases into the corner. Trailer is Green. Green steps into it in the shot and stick save. Ton of English on it, I believe. McGowan was trying to put it in the corner, but ended up just hanging on. Ferrugia spins and fires, and that one the English takes that into the half boards. Ferrugia deep in the corner now. He's got Weiger with him. Ferrugia stepping out, takes the shot. And now Kalenka. Spinning quick, it's Crosby. Kane was down, and that one just went wide. Here's Ferrugia. Ferrugia trying to get off. Almost too many men as he was hustling up. And Brad Campbell came in. Falling in front of Campbell was Matt Miller. Miller gets up. Here's Larry Horman, and Trail official Chad Asseltine makes the call, and I believe Brad Campbell's going here as Matt Miller heads to the box. Brad Campbell throws the stick in disgust, slams the door as well, and coming over to serve, Chris Whitaker. Has taken a couple shifts in this game, though we haven't seen much of him, is on the game sheet and can go over to serve. Steve Cormier comes over to have a word. Jack Martin and Matt Miller now apparently down for the Ringers. Kane's got a drop, make that save, 2:54. As this one chipped in, Kolenko. Enon McGowan sends it to the corner. Strite trying to get the stick on it, short-handed are the Outlaws now with a big hill to climb in the final 2.5. Jeff Dupuis keeps it alive, pinching in through center. Jacob Woods steals. Up for Brendan Kane. Kane up for Woods, tries to get the glove on it. Just can't get it to stop hopping. And it comes back up again. Russo. Ringers are the team on the power play as Russo takes it back up. Over to the near side, Brendan Kane. Looking to ice our barn final, already leading 4-1. Russo and Strite. Far side playing catch. Here's Brendan Crosby. Rips into it. It goes wide. As Green gives chase. Steve Cormier there as well. Green and Cormier tied up in front of the bench. Now the Ringers player falls. Crosby comes after the ball. Crosby looking for the center of the floor. His backhand shot got in on net. Steve Cormier looked for the rebound. Straight up through center. Russo holds the line. Jonah Evans there to help out near side. It sneaks under the armpit. Didn't quite catch over the line. The initial shot coming from Brendan Kane. Scott Russo, the trailer. There to finish up, and the 5th different goal scorer. If it goes to Brendan Kane or Scott Russo, it'll be the 5th different goal scorer in the game. And neither Russo or Kane had a goal in that semifinal either. So out of the 9 goals we've seen now, 7 goal scorers for the Ringers out of 10 runners. Jack Martin back on the floor. He's just going to backpedal into the corner in the final minute here. No need to force the issue. Double minor penalty. This is the power play for the Ringers. Up 5-1 here. Jonah Evans, Scott Russo, Jacob Woods, Curtis Gibbons, and Tom Strite. Goal scorers, it started with Andrew Wager. Looked like it was going to be a pretty good match back and forth, but the Ringers, as they did in the semi, got momentum and never relinquished it. Brendan Kane straight through the middle, and Curtis Gibbons with his 2nd of the game. And Oliver Wild found the loose ball and shot it about halfway to St. Catharines. So he's picked up an unsportsmanlike minor. But the officials are just going to keep the clock winding down. That'll do it for our barn final. The winners, they're the Ringers. As there is the horn, the London Outlaws coming away with just 1 goal from Andrew Wager. Jonah Evans, Scott Russo, Jacob Woods, Curtis Gibbons with a pair, and Tom Strite. In an official 6-1 victory for the Ringers over the London Outlaws. One more game to complete our quintuple header here this afternoon. 5 straight on the JVI Sports Network. The Vicious Alpacas and the Punishers get set for the intermediate final. That comes your way next on the JVI Sports Network.